Welcome to the Hexagon series. In this series we're going to be making lots of 4-round hexagon motifs, so similar to the Granny Square series, except we're using hexagons instead of squares. And as you can see here, I've started my sample blanket. I'm using Stylecraft Highland Heathers in the Aran weight with a 5mm hook, so it's quicker to work up than the last blanket I made, which was with the DK yarn. So this is working up quite quick, which is nice. I'm using a 5mm hook, and I'm using one colour per hexagon. I nearly said square there. So you can mix and match however you want. I'm not giving a full description of the colours and where I've joined them. That can be entirely up to you. Let's get started. So the first hexagon we're going to make is a simple granny hexagon, and this is very similar to a granny square, except we'll be using 6 corners instead of 4, and you'll notice that the granny groups are 2 stitches rather than 3 stitches. So I'm going to be using the light blue colour for the demo with a 5mm hook. So to begin, I'm going to make a double magic circle, and chain 1. So for round 1, we are going to make, I like to start with my corner. So we're going to make a US single, that's a UK double, and then chain 1, and that counts as my first US double or UK treble. We're then going to chain 1 for the corner and make a US double or a UK treble into the double magic circle. We're then going to make a second stitch and chain 1. Yeah, and we're going to repeat. So we're going to make 2 stitches, and chain 1. Let me just grab some slack, and we'll repeat. So we want a total of 5 of these 2 stitch groups. Yeah, so we're going to make 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches, and chain 1. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to make one more set of 2 stitches, and chain 1. So we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're now going to finish off that first corner. So I'm going to start my next stitch, yarn over, go into the circle, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'm just going to leave that like that while I tighten up the double magic circle. So I'm going to pull on that tail just a little bit to see which circle tightens first, and then pull the circle that tightened first all the way, close the circle up, and then pull the tail to close the second loop. Make sure that's tight, and then we're going to flip that. So there's my working yarn. We're going to take that up and behind the hook, and then finish that stitch. Yeah. And then I'm just going to slip stitch into that chain 1 space we made at the beginning, so that we're back into the corner, chain 1, and that's how your work should look at the end of round 1. So for round 2, we're going to start in the corner again. So we're going to make a US single, UK double, chain 1, that counts as our first stitch, and then chain 1 for the corner. We're then going to make 2 stitches into that space, US doubles, UK trebles. All the stitches for this pattern are US doubles, UK trebles. So we've made those 2 stitches. We're then going to hop across to the next chain 1 space, and we're going to make 2 stitches, chain 1, and make 2 more stitches into that same space. So this is our second corner. We're then going to hop across to the next chain space and make 2 stitches, chain 1, and 2 more stitches. And we're going to repeat. So we're going to do that all the way around into each corner. We're going to make 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches. So you can press pause if you're making along, and I'll see you at the end of the round. We'll finish that last corner together. Yeah. So I've just made my last corner, and I'm now going to finish off the first corner. So we just made 1 stitch, so we're going to go in and make another stitch. I'm also going to yarn over that tail, yeah, and then we're going to slip stitch into the chain space to finish, and chain 1, and that's how your work should look at the end of round 2. So for round 3, we're going to start in the corner again. So we're going to make a US single, UK double, chain 1. That's my starting stitch. If you prefer to do chain 2, you can do that. And then we chain 1 for the corner. We're then going to make 2 stitches into that space. And we're going to go along the edge. We're going to add 2 stitches in between the 2 granny groups at the corner. Yes, we're going to make 2 stitches there. Just like my granny squares, I don't make a chain in between the granny groups along the edge. After your 2 stitches, we go into the corner. We're going to make 2 stitches, chain 1. Let me finish that stitch first. Chain 1, and then 2 more stitches. We're going to hop across, going in between the 2 granny groups. We make 2 stitches, and then into the next corner, 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches. Remember, all stitches are US doubles, UK trebles. Careful not to split your yarn. Into the space between the 2 groups, make 2 stitches. Let's get some slack. And then we're at the next corner. So again, 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches. And if you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm nearly at the end of the round now. I'm just going to add that last stitch to my corner, and then slip stitch into the chain space and chain 1. And that's how your work should look at the end of round 3. For round 4, we're going to do the same thing. Yeah, we're going to start in the corner, make your starting stitch, and then chain 1, and then we make 2 stitches in there. Into the space between the granny groups, I call them. Hop along to the next space. And then into the corner, make 2 stitches. Getting some slack, chain 1 and 2 stitches. And we're going to continue round to the end of the round 4, and we can finish off that first corner together. Yeah, so if you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm at the end of the round. I'm going to make that last stitch in the corner. I'm then going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and then I'm going to chain 2 and cut the yarn. Oh, there's a hair caught there. Oh phew, it hadn't got crocheted into the motif. Pull those chains tight to finish, and there's your first hexagon. So to join them, we're going to join them as we go. So we're going to make a round 5 just on this first hexagon, because the others we won't do the complete round 5. We'll start joining them in. Yeah, so grab your joining colour, make a slip knot, and we're then going to attach that to our motif. So you can do that wherever you like. I like to go into the corner, so I'm just going to go in, pull the yarn through, and then through the loop, chain 1, pull that tight. So we're going to make a US double, UK treble starting stitch. I'm going to make that single and chain 1, and then we're going to chain 2 for these corners. Yeah, make 2 more stitches into the corner. We're just going to go around just like a granny round, yeah? So we're going to make 2 stitches in between each group. Hop across to the next space. Oops, got that caught. Let's not do that. 2 more stitches. Hop across to the next space, 2 stitches. And then we're at the corner. So I'm going to yarn over this to sort of weave it in a bit, the tail from the from where we cut and tied the yarn. So I'm going to make 2 stitches, chain 2, and then I need some slack, and then 2 more stitches, and take care not to split your yarn. And we're going to go all the way around like so. So we'll make 2 stitches into each group. Get that tail out the way now. In between each group, I think I should have said. Make 2 stitches in between each group, and then at the corners it's 2 stitches, chain 2, 2 stitches. Yeah, so if you're making along, you can press pause, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm just at the end of the round. I've made all my stitches except this last one in the corner. So we're going to make that last corner stitch and then slip stitch into the chain space. Again, I like to chain 2, cut the yarn, pull the hook, and then pull those chains tight. That's entirely up to you how you finish off. That's just how I like to do it. So there's your first, keep going to say square, hexagon. There's your first hexagon. In the second video, we'll look at a different pattern for the hexagon. They're all going to mix and match. In the second video, we'll look at how to join the second hexagon. And in the third video, we'll look at how to join the third hexagon. And then once you've joined 3 hexagons, you'll just be able to keep going and join all of them together. Yeah, because we'll have this corner complete. This corner here will be complete. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you for the next video.